people believe that the paranormal and science are separate. But what they don't know, that they are both joined together as one. Join Ben and Louisa on their quest as they bring together science, occult, and the paranormal, only on Occult, History, and Science with Ben and Lou.
Hi, welcome along. He's back from his adventure. Made it home.
You're live, aren't you?
Yes, I'm live.
Oh, yeah, it's just quite cool.
Oh, it might be a bit slow. Sometimes it is. Yeah, so I hope you're all having a good weekend. Who's been playing in the snow? Who's been driving in the snow? It's been a bit crazy.
We did.
We did. What, playing or driving?
Driving.
Driving.
3 o'clock this morning.
Got Natasha on. Hi, Natasha.
What you're doing? Oh, I've shared it.
You just look funny. Okay, yeah.
Twice. 3 times.
Why have you shared it so many times?
I don't know. 3
Okay, Ben and technology. Yeah, thank you to those who came on and watched Friday's show, where it was just me on my lonesome because Ben was driving home and Damon was having tinterwebby problems. So yeah, what are we doing tonight? Have you got anything to say before I start on the topic of tonight?
Only that we have, I know there's 4 people watching, and this is really exclusive. 3 now, the ones just dropped off. We have a phone call tomorrow to talk to someone who may or may not be working on doing another TV show. Not sure yet. That's all I will do. That's all I'm going to give because I like to be an idiot.
Yeah, and nothing's actually been confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Let's try and get that right. Anyway,
we shall see.
We shall see. So tonight we are going on to. Oh, there's Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette. Did you get home safe? Because Jeanette popped over to our village today. Oops. So, yeah. We shall start on the topic. We've got the Occult Sciences book. We're moving on to the next chapter, which is Alchemy. If anyone watched last week's show, obviously Ben was talking about alchemy stuff, weren't you? With the Philosopher's Stone.
I will be at some point putting up the alchemy book that I have, but guys, it's 400 pages long, so you have to bear with me a minute while I dig through my phone files and try and find it.
Oh, and that's yeah. Did you get area? Okay. Yeah, we're all right. Once we got onto the A38 and the A50, it was all fine. It was pretty clear. It was just kind of wet. I got Hugh on. Hi, Ben. Low. Hi, Hugh.
Hey, buddy. Let me just give Charles a shout out as well. Happy birthday on your 70th birthday.
Aww.
Bless you, buddy.
So then, sorry, I got an itch. My hair. Right, alchemy. Bear with me on this. Yeah, alchemy is known and misknown to all the world as the supposed science of transmuting the metals which the ignorance of a benighted epoch denominated base into the resplendent perfections of gold and silver. Outside the circle of Hermetic students, the possibility of such a conversion is generally derided at the present day, and if anyone, by an accident, alights upon the evidence which exists for its actuality in the entombed scientific literature of the far past, he is embarrassed by its extent and solidity, but can hardly be shaken in his prejudice. We intend in the present essay to define in a positive manner the exact theory of metallic, don't know why I said that weird then, metallic transmutation, which was professed by the alchemists, to state the ulterior possibilities which may be developed from that theory, and to expose the connection which subsists between the branch of hermetic art and the branch that is known as magic. As we are forced to embody in the briefest possible compass the largest available amount of compressed information, we must solicit from our readers a certain rational confidence in those statements that a narrow space forbids us to verify. We've got here, we've got Kate's on. Hi, Kate.
Okay. Oh, for those of you that are obviously here watching, I don't know where my brain was going with that one. Sorry, guys. We do have some shows lined up that are going to be on Saturday night, I believe, and they are going to be me, Kate, and Lou interviewing some people from America. Kate has lined up 4 guests, 5 guests even, and they are interesting people.
There we go. Be
And
exciting.
She's coming back to us.
So yeah, they're going to be on Saturday nights, kind of in between when me and Jeanette are going to be doing some investigating. So we've got a few fun things lined up. The philosophical writings, which in the 4th century were produced under the name of Hermes Trismegistus, oh god, Trismegistus. Anyway,
just bear with
yeah, that'll Hermes Giuseppe. Yeah, were the source of alchemical inspiration during the subsequent Christian centuries. The first distinct and undoubted reference to alchemy is posterior to the circulation of these books as mysterious in matter and as important in mystical history, as they are doubtful and suspicious in their origin. The reference in question is contained in a manuscript treatise by Zosimus the Pomopolite, which is preserved in the library at the Louvre. The first of the practical alchemists, Geber, the Arabian physician, is usually referred to the 8th century of our era. By his writings, it would appear that the art was already matured, and he appeals to the authority of the line of anterior adepts and to a literature of apparent antiquity from which he extensively drew. From the 8th to the 16th century, the doctrines and practices of alchemy continued to be propagated in the West, and, with Germany at its centre, is diffused a great light of mysticism till the eve of the French Revolution. The avowed object of the physical alchemy was such an investigation of natural secrets as would elicit a practical method from the conversion of the certain substances, generally metallic, into gold and silver. This was accomplished, in the main, by means of an elixir, which, in harmony with a theory to which much hermetic importance has been sometimes attached, could be applied to the body of the alchemist after a certain occult adaptation, as well as to a metallic body, with which a strictly analogical result. In the mineral kingdom, the completed process was termed transmutation. In its application to humanity, it was known as the conversion or transfiguration of the individual by means of alchemy. The result, in the first place, was gold, or, if the process was arrested at a certain stage, silver was the product instead. In the second case, a complete renewal of all the vital forces and the development of the physical capacities to an exceptionally advanced degree, transferred the successful magus into an advanced stage of evolution and endowed him with powers and capacities which could be put in operation both in a material and spiritual direction.
It's a lot of knowledge on alchemy.
Got Boo Brothers on.
Hey, buddy.
Hello. Jeanette says, that sounds great. Love Kate and her discussions. Don't know how she remembers all the info.
Oh, a happy birthday to Lee as well from Boo Brothers as well.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday, everyone.
Yeah.
Many people having birthdays. Ben.
Oh.
Ben's just like looking at the game.
Sorry, it just happened to pop up.
He's supposed to be translating this information.
I am translating for this information as well.
Translate.
I will do when it comes to translating something.
So you're just gonna like make it symbols.
I will do when it gets to a simple part.
You're a simple part.
Well, yeah, we know this. Welcome to a regular discussion that me and Lou have on a regular basis, off camera.
Evening, Annette. And Boo Brother says thank you.
So,
I shall carry on then.
you do that.
I'll do that.
Good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
While the uninitiated students of the Hermetic mystery exhausted their revenues and squandered their entire lives ransacking every kingdom of nature and experimenting with every conceivable subject from ordure to eggshells, so as at length to accomplish the extraction of a fundamental matter of the elixir, the adepts, who appear to have received the secret by oral transmission, pursued their experiments in accordance with an arcane theory which was a precious inheritance from the past. The philosophers who were participants of the theory could operate with ease and ensure success. For them, it was the work of a child or a woman. The student who was outside the select circle of the hierophants was, however, in the hands of God, and the divine science of the Hermetics might be communicated by one of those inexplicable flashes of unprefaced. Leave me alone. You try reading it.
I didn't. I skipped that word.
What, the inexplicable flashes?
Yeah.
Of unprefaced intuition,
Mm-hmm.
which the God encompassed minds of the philosophers who rejected the fortuitous and believed in an imminent providence, interpreted as direct revelation. You just nodding. Yep. Jeanette says Ben's on one again.
Yep.
Hugh says, sorry guys, got to run, but we'll watch the rest later. Have a good start to the week. Okay, Hugh, see you later. Have a good week.
I'll let everyone into a little bit of a secret at the minute. When it came to doing the alchemy bit, I wasn't there.
What do you mean you weren't there?
I wasn't there for the week when they studied it, when we looked into alchemy at the beginning stages. I wasn't there.
Why?
I was currently preoccupied with another form of work.
And did you not catch up on it?
Did eventually.
Slacking.
Yeah.
So in other words, Ben's just going to sit there.
Oh no, I can still translate.
Oh, I
actual,
can do it.
At the actual time of going through this, I currently wasn't there. I was elsewhere.
Man of mystery. Right. A perfect master of science might also initiate a stranger after proper tests and progressive study. The Hermetic theory was at once philosophical and practical. Its philosophical section is, for the most part, exposed in the literature of alchemy. Its practical portion is preserved in symbolic language and in pictorial symbols, which are capable of such diverse interpretations that their true meaning seems invariably to escape the student. By the terms of the philosophical theory, shut up, Ben. It is evident that the adepts regarded the animal creation as so many successive steps through which nature laboriously ascended to the creation of her most perfect achievement, man, and in every stage of production, man was the end in view. That which the human individual was to the rest of the animal kingdoms, gold was to the world of minerals. and it was therefore affirmed in the allegorical language of alchemy that nature always intended to produce gold. The existence of the inferior metals was due to arrested development at various stages of operation. Less crudely put, through the successive steps of the whole mineral kingdom, nature works up towards gold. The foundation of the precious metal is thus to be found in its inferiors, and there is also a certain common nature between man and the animals which are below him. It was the object of alchemy to take up the work of nature where it had been arrested by circumstances, to develop the latest perfections in lead, mercury, and antimony, and in thousands other subjects, and to produce on the lines of her observed operations the metallic perfection which was her aim. Jeanette says he was wagging it.
I was ringing it. All right,
Annette says he was wagging it as well. Hang on, the pages together. There we go. Kate has put neutrinos, so-called ghost particles, is a topic that's too much for the brain to understand. Discuss.
You want to go into neutrinos right now? Jesus. My brain is not in the right place for that, Kate. Oh, oh. Yeah, my brain is not in the right place for that, Kate. I'm sorry.
Sunday evening.
I'll bow out on that one for
after
this day.
having about 4 or 5 hours sleep.
Oh, and 6 days work. Yeah, Kate, you got me on
That's
that one.
Another day.
I'll bow out to you on that one, Kate. You got me.
Kate says my morning read, my brain is done. Possibly there is little in this hypothesis to recommend it to those who are acquainted with the facts of modern science. Yet the evidence which exists for the performance of transmutations in the past is abundant and good of its kind. If the composite character of metals can be tolerated as a possibility, and the drift of scientific experiment is, we believe, in this direction, then it is conceivable that the lifelong labours of so many generations of adepts may have occasionally resulted in discovering the constituent elements of gold and in the actual composition of the metal. That success, if it were in reality achieved, was occasionally wholly fortuitous, is made evident by the fact that the operator was sometimes unable to repeat the experiment which had realized his absorbing ambition. The crudity of the exploratory hypothesis does not much undermine the evidence. There are many undoubted facts in modern physics which, even at this day, are very inadequately explained. The philosophical theory of alchemy, which we have thus briefly exhibited, deserves more extended consideration, and as the belief of the transmutation of metals has by no means passed away, as the study of practical alchemy is said to be actually reviving, with the general resurrection of mysticism, as Figuier admits that the romantic conversion is possible and may even be ultimately performed, and as, so late as the middle of the century, Dr. Christopher Gertner has been described as an eminent professor of Göttingen, actually affirmed in the Annales de Chimère, is that it was destined to be generally known and practiced, that every chemist and artist would be able to manufacture gold, that kitchen utensils, by the close of the present age, will be made of precious metals. It seemed desirable to provide the reader with a comprehensive account of the principles which, on the authority of the alchemists themselves, were involved in the art of transmutation.
Sure, it says chimera.
Oh, I don't know, it's a different language. I'm just trying to pronounce.
Just and then I'll explain what chimera is.
The Annales de Chimère. or chimia.
Chimia.
Is it chimia?
Yeah, chimia.
Chimia.
Chimia. Chimia and chimera. Chimera in Japanese is to do with transmutation of the human body. So that's transmutating
Oh, I was going to look on my phone, but my phone's
people
being used.
into animal bodies. So hybrids like the Egyptians. The Egyptians like
What about your phone?
I don't know, like Ra. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
like Ra would be classed as a chimera.
Oh, that's, yeah, you got sausage fingers sometimes, by the way.
So that's what chimera is. Oh, she's getting the
No, that's like I wanted
posh
the.
text.
I was going to type in the title of this. Carry on talking.
Yeah, so that's basically what chimera is. It was made popular recently in anime. Certain, well, just in Japanese films. It's weird how they use it. Like even I think Godzilla's classed as a chimera. Pacific Rim is the best one it's been used in. Creatures that are used as other creatures. That kind of explains it a bit. It's a bit of a weird one to try and explain without showing you what actual chimera is.
Why did it come up with scholarly articles first of all?
I've got a clue. Just move on.
I was gonna. Weird. I'll give you your phone back. I'll look and see what it was actually about, but I'll have a look at that afterwards. Just muttering to myself now. Okay, it says, when was the book published that you're reading from? It was published
Told
in
you.
1891.
Just before the war.
My hands stick on my face. Where did we get to?
Yeah. Science Journal, found in Paris. French, 1789.
Yeah, that's got it spelled differently.
Yeah,
Is that the one by
French chemist.
Gottingen?
No, French chemist.
No, this is maybe here's what he was saying was affirmed in that, but it wasn't actually written by him. Anyway, carrying on. Where was I? The substance of the ensuing pages is derived from the Masonic alchemy of Baron Schudy. What is that? Schudy? Schuhondi?
Yeah.
It depends how we're going with the, yeah, where it's from, which is based on the authority of Paracelsus. Wherever it seems obscure or imperfect, we have endeavoured to supplement it with sidelights from the writings of other adepts. The first study of an alchemical philosopher is research into the operations of nature, whose end is God, as he also is her sole beginning. Now, nature is divisible. Sorry, my throat's really.
Have you got a drink?
Yeah, my throat's gone all scratchy. There we go. Hope I'm not coming down with something. Because Evelyn was saying that but she thought it was from talking too much. It's made her throat go a bit, her voice go. So I hope I'm not coming down with something. Now, nature is divisible philosopher into four chief regions: the dry, the moist, the warm, and the cold, which are the four elementary quantities whence all that is must be derived. Nature is differentiated into male and female. She is compared to Mercury. She is never visible, though she acts visibly, being a volatile essence which performs its office in bodies and is informed by the universal spirit. She represents the divine breath, the central fire, which is termed by the philosophers the sulphur of matter, and is identical with that mercury of the sages, which manifests itself by the gentle heat of nature. The investigators of nature should be, like herself, simple, truthful, patient, and persevering. What they desire to perform should be in accordance with her, whom they should follow in every point. In seeking to achieve something more excellent than she has performed in a particular subject, they should consider by what it is ameliorated, which is invariably by its like. For example, if you would develop the intrinsic virtue of a metal beyond the natural point, you must grasp the metallic nature itself, and know how to distinguish between the male and female in nature. The searcher must know how to obtain the seed of metals, which is their elixir or superior quintessence.
Quintessential.
No,
No?
no, quintessence. Literally, quintessence. The most finished and perfect doctrination and digestion of the thing itself. This seed or germ is produced by the four elements through the will of the Supreme Being and the imagination of nature. I hope you're not, I don't want to get a bad throat. I know it's just gone really scratchy. So we shall carry on. The true and primeval matter of metals is of double essence, being an aerial warmth and moisture and a dry heat, but the student must beware of how he interprets these terms in their literal sense. There are many circles within the circle of alchemical philosophy. For example, the air of the philosophers is said to be a water coagulated by fire, which produces a universal dissolvent, and even by the centre of the earth, where the elements are supposed to deposit their metallic seed, the philosophers appear to have referred to, in an arcane manner, to a mysterious stone storehouse of chaotic forces. But the allegory and the intentional confusion are by no means at its end here. The disciple of Hermetic art is required to direct his attention to what is termed by the French adepts the point de la nature, and this he should not seek in the vulgar metals, which are absolutely dead, while those which are known to the higher plants are absolutely living and possessed of a vital spirit. Now the living gold of the philosophers is explained by another authority to be that fixed grain, which animates the mercury of the sages, but as the sulfic sulphur or red magisterium is also avivific. Oh, I'm broken. Vivific gold. The confusion of alchemical nomenclature is the unlimited of an exceedingly embarrassed kind. Metals were supposed to be endangered in the bowels. Bowels? No, not endangered. Oh my gosh.
My bowels are indeed.
Oh dear. Metals were supposed to be engendered in the bowels of the earth after the following manner. When the circulation of the philosophy... I've lost it, I've broken, I can't do it. Oh dear.
Told you so.
Try. If I keep messing this up, then I'm just gonna have to wait until I'm a little bit more alive. Bye bye, puppy.
It is a
I've
hard.
lost where I am now.
When it comes to alchemy, it's very hard to read because they have a tendency of using really large words for no bloody reason. So they
Yeah.
eventually created alchemists use their own alphabet, which is brilliant because they use basically more symbology than they use letters and words. So reading an alchemist's book, symbology-wise, is a lot easier than trying to read the bloody English. Because
It's because you know when you read something, you try and understand. Your part of your brain's reading it, part of your brain's trying to understand what it's saying. And that's probably why I'm falling over myself more, because it's like it's complete unknown kind of a subject what they're explaining. So you've got your brain's trying to read what it's saying, digest what it's saying, make sense of what it's saying, and I'm trying to speak it out at the same time, and everything's just falling over in my brain. Oh dear. And yeah. When the circulation of the philosophical elements has deposited the seed, it is returned towards the surface in a sublimated state. The seed of every metal is originally one, in which the possibility of their conversion is founded. They are differentiated by local influences acting within the centre. Before all other study, it is affirmed to be absolutely needful that an amateur should understand the formulation of metals in the bowels of the earth. Without this, and the faithful imitation of nature, he will never achieve anything successful. Nature composes all metals of mercury, which, however, is a living and feminine principle, and not the substance which under that name is known to ordinary chemistry, and of sulphur, which is a living male. In a matrix of saline water, these substances are combined in a vapor. Oh, I split up the word, vaporous condition, and a species of vitriol results, which by the circulation of the elements is again converted into vapor, is combined with sulfur, is transformed into glutinous mass, and after other complicated processes, which it would be perfectly idle to enumerate, a metal is evolved, and this is pure or impure according to the locality of its production. These explanations, it will be seen, offer no instructions for the discovery of the all-important seed. It is evident throughout that the described process refers to the laboratory practices of the adepts and not to cosmic evolution. Simplified and pruned as it is in this brief presentation, it will appear to the ordinary scientific reader as a raving chaos of unintelligible extravagance, out of which it would seem impossible to develop any form or harmony. Could even a key be provided to the exact meaning of every figure of speech, when it must be added that the most illustrious adepts were accustomed, in addition to allegorical language, insoluble cryptograms, and symbols which admitted innumerable interpretations, to fill their pages with false recipes, useless fictions, and numberless errors, so as still further to disguise from the ignorant the truth which they pretend to reveal. It is evident that the recovery of the practical process for metallic transmutation is a hopeless and insane quest, for which no reliance can be placed upon any statements, whilst everywhere deception abounds, progress of any kind is impossible. Oy. Okay, it's put on. I really want to say something, but it might trigger mixed responses. Go for it.
Go for it, Kane.
Go for it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Can't be any worse than stuff I've said over the years.
That alchemical typology is nonsense, and a hoax from the beginning to end cannot, however, be affirmed by any person who has acquaintance with the facts of the case. In the 17th and 18th centuries, when the spread of the Hermetic ideas and the increasing facilities of printing made alchemy a remunerative speculation for the bookseller, a literature was largely consisted of unadulterated imposture, appears to have sprung into existence, but in anterior centuries there was such inducement to dishonesty. The writings of the alchemists remained in the obscurity of manuscript, and it is absurd to suppose that a laborious terminology was invented, and innumerable books were written to gratify a purposeless passion for unprofitable and aimless deception. It is more probable that a conventional language was devised to enable the participators in a common pursuit of communicative without difficulty upon matters which it was dangerous to refer to in any open and comprehensible manner. At the same time, it must be admitted that the entire problem is almost inscrutable, and it is difficult to propound any theory that can be tolerated concerning it. Okay, put it on yet. In 34 minutes, Ben hasn't yawned once.
Cheers.
Because he's not actually doing anything. he's not scrolling on his phone. Totally into this, aren't you?
I've literally had to single pick page by page the whole book of Alchemy off my phone from one folder into another, create a single folder which I'm now going to post onto Facebook.
Yeah, it's playing on your phone, aren't you?
I am going to hurt you so much.
I love you.
Creep.
Oh,
No cups of tea for you.
It's just mean.
That makes it even freaking worse. Not done it in order.
Oh, Ben. Kate says that's not Ben, it's a clone. Okay, we'll leave him struggling with technology. And now we'll try and get on with this. Where are we? There we are. It may be stated by way of a conclusion to this portion. Sorry, I got half the word on one page. I had to turn the page over. Portion of the subject that the alchemists were accustomed to distinguish three kinds of gold: astral gold, whose center is the sun, and, like light, is communicated in its rays to all inferior beings; elementary gold, the most pure and fixed part of the elements and of all substances which are composed of them, so that all the sublunary beings of the three kingdoms of nature contain in their center a precious grain of this elementary gold. Lastly, there is vulgar gold, the most beautiful of known metals, and perfect and unchanging in itself. When from the natural principles of alchemy the adepts proceed to an account of the actual process, they are less barbarous in their methods and less contradictory in their statements. The operations described have the character of serious experiments which might be reproduced if the materials are required could be obtained. Getting there. Slowly. The profound study of Hermetic allegory has indicated to a few minds an unexpected solution, which is exceedingly suggestive and curious. We have seen that the mystics regarded the successive steps of creation as all leading up to man, and, though the analogy, why am I just falling, may have nothing to recommend it, the occult doctrine of correspondence led them to regard the evolution of minerals as proceeding after a parallel method. More recently, we have seen that every mundane substance, animate or otherwise, possesses in its center of its nature a spark of elementary gold. It is evident, therefore, that on the one hand, the gold of the philosophers is not a metal, that, on the other hand, man is a being who possesses within himself the seeds of a perfection which he has never realized, and that he therefore corresponds to these metals which the Hermetic theory supposes to be capable of development. It has been consequently advanced that the conversion of lead into gold was only the assumed object of alchemy, and that it was in reality in search of a process for developing the latest possibilities in the subject, man, that the quest was pursued with success, that it led to magnificent results in the physical and spiritual orders, and to an acquaintance with facts and forces, which it was unwise indiscriminately to divulge, and which resulted in the invention of a typological literature that was intelligible to the initiated alone. Without in any way pretending to assert that this hypothesis reduces the literary chaos of the philosophers into a regular order, it may be affirmed that it materially elucidates their writings, and that it is wonderful how contradictions absurdities, and difficulties seem to dissolve wherever it is applied.
This is just so everyone can actually see at home. This is how I'm having to do it. Yeah. Yeah, there's 400 pages.
Why? Why are you doing that?
Put it up for people to read, and I can only upload 80 pages at a time.
Oh, just
I will sort it out at some point, guys.
right. If you want a copy of this that Ben's
Yeah, if
doing,
you want a copy, ask me, I'll send it you.
yeah. Do you want to actually announce properly what it is?
Right, on the first page.
He's lost page 1. Oh, hi, Jim.
It is
okay?
the Dictionary of Occult, Hermetic, and Alchemy sigils.
Nice.
However, it's not in order because a friend of mine sent it me completely randomly, which has now put it in my phone as complete random. You can page by page it because the numbers are at the bottom. Well, with 406 pages, I
Don't think
wish you could.
anyone really want that. Not unless they're really bored.
Really
Is anyone really bored? Does anyone want to put this in
interesting
order?
pages. But yeah, if anyone's really bored and wants it to put it in number, let me know. But if anyone,
Oh, there we
Kate.
go.
If anyone would like it just to read through it, let me know and I'll send it you. Like message me privately and I'll send it you.
I'll just work around. At the same time, it is equally and abundantly evident that those alchemists whose lives we are in any way acquainted were, in the overwhelming majority of cases, indisputably physical chemists in search of a physical secret and ambitious of material wealth. It may be said that, as actions speak louder than words, the new interpretation, however plausible, is probably fallacious. Yet outside the illumination which it casts on a large selection of alchemical literature, there are other considerations in its favour which cannot be lightly set aside. There is, in the first place, this fundamental and really important fact, that those Hermetic books of Alexandrian Platonism, theurgy, and Egyptian tradition attributed to Trismegistus, which were the ultimate ever-quoted and infallible authority of all the Western alchemists, appear absolutely devoid of any assignable connection with metallic transmutation. They are devoted to transcendental cosmology and a system of spiritual philosophy. If the alchemists were workers in metals, why did they appeal to Hermes? I'm broken again. Just wind me back up. It is insufficient to reply that they were of opinions that the Alexandrian symbolist was delineated the process of their metallic science in an arcane fashion. There is nothing to support the assertion, for the golden treatise of Hermes Trismegistus. I really can't get my words around that. Trismegistus. Yeah, which alone is concerned and physical transmutation is a composition of the 15th century, long after the establishment of alchemical doctrines in the West, long after Hermes had been appealed to as an authority, and in all probability a product of the opinion in question. So the fact remains that there is nothing in early Hermetic literature to give colour to such an interpretation. Okay, it's put yawn count. Try to hide it.
Terrible.
Okay, so how's the value of the little penguin? Oh yeah.
The penguin is going in my van.
Yeah. You keep forgetting penguin. And you forgot your fudge. Are you taking your fudge with you this time? Yeah, because I don't want to put it back in the freezer. A little penguin.
What, my fudge?
Yeah.
I just put my fudge in the freezer.
Because you went away and you left it on the sofa for the dogs.
So you put it in the freezer.
Yeah. Do you not know you can freeze fudge?
I know you freeze fudge, but the question is, why would you want to freeze fudge? Why would you
Make
not
it
just eat it?
last longer because I don't want to eat it because it's your fudge. If I ate your fudge, then you'd be unhappy with me.
It's never stopped you before when I've come home and found my chili crisps have been eaten.
That's when they've been opened and I didn't want them to go stale.
Don't do that. I wish I was only away for 2 days.
Yeah, right. Oh, Justin's on.
Hey,
Hello.
Justin.
Look forward to seeing you guys in January.
I'll be a bit more awake than I am now.
Yeah, I need to make more of them. I'll tell you, like, Evelyn asked me for 20 of these. I said, I'm not making 20. She's like, 10? I said, no. So I'll do 5.
Lose
No.
demon penguin army.
It's not demon. Cute little penguin.
Demon penguin army.
How are we doing? We're not doing too bad. You got anything else to add on what I've been saying?
Oh, just reading the nets. Whilst in Wales last week, had mince pie fudge. It was
Amazing.
nice. Can't remember what I got. I got fudge of just
You got.
random. We spent like 30 quid's worth on fudge.
Well, that was between 3 of us.
Yeah.
And it was at the Christmas market in Nottingham. And you know, everything's kind of overpriced at Christmas markets. Sorry, guys. Just lost where I was. Because everything kind of looks the same at the moment. I've read that bit. Stop it. Oh, you're not helpful. Alright, bear with me. Because no, right. Okay. That's why I start on that bit. In the second place, it is fairly certain that the mystics who were confessedly devoted to the development of psychic potentialities in men made use of the same symbols, of similar allegories, and of methods rigorously akin to those of the alchemists. Lastly, the mystics, as well as the alchemists, appealed to the authority of Hermes. These, in a brief compass, are the most important facts of the case, and in the face of so much conflicting evidence, it is exceedingly difficult to arrive at a tenable and moderate conclusion, which shall bring both of these views into harmonious and consistent relationship. We must begin by conceding that from facts which are obvious in the lives of the alchemists, and from facts in the history of chemistry, these early investigators of nature were in search of metallic transmutation, and that in the course of their experiments they admittedly made discoveries in physics which laid the foundations of the existing science of chemistry. We must suppose that the literature of alchemy was devoted, as it claims to be devoted, to veiled instruction in the physical process of mineral conversion. In this case, we are forced to regard what may be termed the spiritual gleams that we discover in Western hermetics as simply lights which are diffused by a theory which is too broad for the practice.
Sorry, I just don't like random jumping on this one. You know, we talk a lot about things on Facebook and certain items being picked up all on Facebook. I'm currently looking at an advert on Facebook for a basket full of crucifix from France. Now that'd be fine. Right? You kind of look at it and go, church must be having a jumble sale. But the fact that a lot of them in the 16th century instantly makes you question a little bit. Crucifix.
Yeah, lots of 16th century crucifixes from France. Small, £10 each, medium, £15, and some are more, please ask.
Yeah, so that in itself sounds a bit dodgy. But then when you look where it's being sold, which is Pontefract, which we know is one of the most, as one of the most supposedly paranormal houses going in the UK, kind of makes you start wondering why they're selling them.
Have you had a look and see what else she's selling?
No,
Because
I was more intrigued at the fact that she's selling them at Pontefract, and I'm debating
Yeah.
whether to go and buy one just out of curiosity.
well, no, I'm just like curious to see what she's actually selling on as well, like other things. Yeah, I got antique Italian rosaries.
Watch out, guys, because there may be an episode where I have to go and do it, like go and recover crosses.
I just got loads of them.
It's just the
And
fact,
chairs.
it's the
and
fact these crosses are in a wicken basket.
tiaras.
How much of this stuff's going to be? On next week's episode, we're going to be investigating paranormal objects that have an attachment, all from
Oh.
one place.
She's got other wicker baskets with daddies, teddies and
Daddies.
dolls, teddies and dolls.
So Lou coined the new word for dolls that are possessed. They're no longer called teddies or anything like that. They're called daddies. So if you happen to have a daddy in your collection, please get in contact with Lou.
Or Jeanette, she's got lots of daddies.
Yeah. Jeanette's got lots of daddies. It's just some weird ass stuff that she's selling.
Oh, that was 120 quid for that one.
I know, but
Things in domes.
yeah, I shall.
A gavel. Can we have a gavel?
Why do you want a gavel?
I want to gavelize.
Gavel.
Oh dear. Right, Kate says, wasn't there a villain penguin in Wallace and Gromit? Yes.
Long trousers. What a film.
Yes, she's cute. Eric says, speaking about candy, I got to toast my first curly. Oh, you mean taste? Taste my first curly whirly and some other candy from the UK.
Curly
Nice.
whirlies do not taste like they used to.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
What else did you
awesome.
have? What else have you tested? What do you want to test that you've not tested yet? I hope you enjoyed them. I do. Right, oh, I've not got that much left. Yes. Right.
Chandeliers. You want a chandelier?
Is it a haunted chandelier?
Oh.
Okay. The metallic work is the threshold of a larger achievement, and the luster of that more consummate opus permeates the material veils of the metallic theory with oblique and confusing rays. If we turn to the writings of the mystics, to Hermes, Trithemius, Swedenborg, Vaughan, Bohm, and other innumerable lights which diffuse their psychic splendor on the golden ladder of the transcendental, we shall find that we have entered the field of a larger hypothesis, the grander hope, the superb, if unfinished, achievement. These men wrought upon the subject man. His were the potencies which they endeavored, through perhaps imperfectly, to develop and extend. His transmutation from material to spiritual consciousness, from lower to higher life, from humanity to superhumanity, was the conversion which these had in view. His regenerated perfection was the end towards which they strived. The opening of his interior faculties till he was enabled to form a correspondence with superior intelligence, subsistence, and might in the end be enabled to create an intellectual union with the Summa Totius Perfectionis, was the divine dream of the mystics. This they endeavoured, this they aspired to accomplish by virtue of a theory of development which Hermes applied in explanation of the material cosmos, which they deemed of equal application to humanity, as That's all right. They've got it on in italics. I'm just trying to like that. Minutum mundum, the cosmos within the cosmos, the small world within the great world, and intellectually the center of this. By the alchemists, it was also appropriated because they believed that the development of a particle of matter must proceed on the same line and according to the same basis as that of grand totality. With such an interpretation, we can understand the appeal to Hermes on the part of physical and spiritual mystics alike, the identity of symbols, and the parallel in allegory between the two schools of thought. At this point, we must pause. It would be quite out of place in an elementary treatise to attempt any delineation of mystical methods in the development of the interior soul and of its complement, the interior lunar. We believe ourselves to have established the points which we undertook at the beginning to demonstrate. We have shown that the ordinary notions concerning the Hermetic mystery and alchemy are inadequate to the scope of the subject. We have endeavoured to explain the conceptions which are at the base of the theory of transmutation, to indicate the possibilities which the mystics beheld behind it, and to expose, as was promised, the connection with substance between this branch of transcendental experiment and that which is known as magic. For magic, from the mystical standpoint, was the modification of man by alchemy, or the spiritual side of magnum opus. Books on the subject of alchemy in the English language are rare and expensive. The following are recommended: A Suggestive Inquiry into the Hermetic Mystery, Remarks on Alchemy and the Alchemists, Lives of the Alchemical Philosophers, with a selection of the most celebrated treatises on the theory and practice of the Hermetic art. There exists also English translations of the works by Geber, Paracelsus, von Helmont, Helvetius, George Starkey, Eugenius Philippantes, and then in brackets Thomas Vaughan, Basil Valentine, Roger Bacon, Sendivogius, and Pseudo Hermes. A considerable insight into the life and work of a physical alchemist in the Middle Ages may also be obtained on a very pleasant manner by the perusal of A Professor of Alchemy, which is an account of the history and adventures of Denis Zaccaire, the celebrated French alchemist. Ben, you may translate that.
Give Lou some credit. It is a hell of a book to read out for you guys. She does a hell of a good job on it.
I kept just like winding down. It's just like my brain sort of fell apart. It's like
It's because it's a hard book to read. The language
Okay.
used in it's hard.
Well, like they even say when we was going through it that the whole elaborate, basically all the wording that was used on it is it meaningful, or is it just words for the sake of using words?
If words were just the sake of
Because
using
even they said that basically in it. What else we got? And it says, did you have your crunchy Eric? I love them. It's put munchies and tea cake. Nice. Yeah. Jeanette says, sounds interesting. That lady's selling, but wonder why. Could be like house clearance or many house clearances items by the looks of it.
You don't just come across 16th century bloody.
But are they actually genuine 16th century
That's the thing.
crucifix?
I may go and have a look, guys, at one of these. Seeing as I'm working up there and we are stopping in Pontefract, so I might go and have a look and nosy and see if they actually are 16th century. If they are, I'll do a live. If they're not, I'll still do a live and just prove the point.
All right, 2 weeks' time, we're going on to the elixir of life.
2 weeks' time, won't be. I don't know what time we'll be back. Because we're at HT event, aren't we?
Oh, we will be back, so I need to pick Evelyn up.
Oh, yeah.
And the HT event, it usually finishes it'll be finished on the morning.
Yeah. We may.
So, yeah.
We'll see how
2
tired.
weeks' time. Well, it can't be any worse than tonight.
Yeah, I suppose not.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll have like, you know, numerous energy drinks to try and actually get through it. Oh dear, thank you for sticking with me though, everybody. It is appreciated.
It is a hard book for to read through, guys. It really
Ben's
is.
yawning again.
I know, Ben's coming towards the end. He's a bit. He's gonna go to bed in a minute.
Oh,
He's
you know,
got up
so
at
you've
5.
done great, but so much to take in. Different crosses. You know, they have one. Oh, Sean says it was good. Oh, thank you, Sean. Right, we've been on now for an hour. So we're gonna go. I need to drink and something for sore throats because
So basically,
I'm
she
suffering.
wants a gin and lemonade.
I don't want a gin and lemonade. Let's see if we've got some strepsils.
Yeah, guys. We will see you hopefully Friday for a show.
Well, Bill.
Yes, Wild Bill. So I wasn't sure if it was the week after or not.
No, next week
Yeah.
we've got Wild Bill on.
We've got Wild Bill on talking about AI systems.
Not artificial insemination.
No. And well, I don't know, Wild Bill, but
Okay, could be
yeah, could be a random conversation, but it'll be
any other
awesome.
versions of AI.
Yeah. But yeah, we will see you Friday, guys. Be good, be safe, and yeah, just be good and be safe at the minute because the weather's terrible wherever you are. And that's it. What about you? Anything else?
No.
No. So guys, that's it. We will see you next week. Have fun, be safe, and